here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I have another editing video for you guys. This time around we are going to learn how to do a face swap in Photoshop. So if you didn't see my last video about editing in Lightroom, make sure that you head over to the Adobe website and sign up for the photography bundle that will get you Lightroom and Photoshop. So knowing how to do a face swap is a really great skill because, sometimes you might be shooting a group like a family or a family during a wedding or even a couple. Anytime there is just more than one person, you run the risk of not being able to get a photo where everybody is smiling with their eyes open and where everybody looks good, especially if you're dealing with small children. So sometimes what you have to do is take two photos where at least one of the photos everybody looks good, and you have to mush those two together to get one photo where everybody looks good. I know Photoshop can be a little bit more intimidating. There are a lot of tools and things to know, so I'm only going to show you the tools that you need specifically for the face swap. We're not going to go over anything else. I am going to be coming out with all kinds of editing videos, so if you ever want to know anything in specific, just let me know, leave it below in the comments, and make sure that you are subscribed down below so that you don't miss a thing. Let's go ahead and get to swapping.
Okay, so we are here in Photoshop. I have two images ready to go, and if you're ever photographing a group of people, you know that sometimes it can be difficult to get a photo where everybody's smiling, where everybody's eyes are open. So knowing how to do a face swap is a pretty crucial skill to have if you are going to be getting into family photography or even wedding photography where you're going to be shooting families. So sometimes you don't realize until you get home that you didn't get one shot where everybody looks good. So for example, for this image right here, we have everybody looking pretty good except he doesn't look super happy and he's kind of like talking or something. And then if you go over to this photo, everybody looks really amazing, but he has his eyes closed. So what we want to do is we want to take his face and we want to put it over here on this photo. So we're going to do that, and this may not be how all photographers do it, but this is how I have always done it. It doesn't mean that it is right or the most efficient way, but it's how we're doing it today. So go over here, make sure that you have your little move tool selected. So we're just going to click it and drag up here. It'll flip over to the other photo, and then if you let go with your mouse, it'll drop that other image on there. So I'm gonna get it centered, and the first thing that I'm gonna do is make sure that I have the new layer selected. It'll be layer 1. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna just bring the opacity down so I can really line it up. And I'm only worried about this guy right here, and I'm not worried about it lining up correctly with anybody else besides him. So we're gonna Command plus on the keyboard, space bar, click and drag, and we're just gonna get right in there. And I'm gonna line up his face the best that I can. So that looks about right. And it's not going to line up perfectly because, his head might not be at the exact same angle, the smile's not exactly the same, but we'll just start there. His eyes are looking pretty lined up and the hairline is looking pretty lined up. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the opacity back up all the way, Command minus, so we get the whole picture back in the frame. And so if you use this little eyeball here, you can click on and off and you can see the photo underneath. So the second step, basically we just have to sort of erase everything in this photo besides his head. So you can do that by applying what we call a layer mask, and that you can do with this tool down here. It's like a rectangle with a circle in the middle. make sure that you have the layer 1 selected and create that layer mask. So we'll bring up this little white square. We are going to go over to our brush tool. You can also just press B and the bracket key is going to make it big. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to be painting. So if you imagine this whole layer as being this white square, to erase it, we are going to paint on the white layer with black. So make sure that you have a black paint on your paintbrush, and you're just going to start rubbing this big circle all around the parts that you want to erase. And you can see over here that the places that we have painted are showing up on this rectangle. Okay, so we're going to get in there a little bit more. So things are getting pretty close to him now. Everything, and we are just going to command space bar. We're going to get in there nice and close. And we just have a couple things, you know, you can kind of see that these stones aren't really matching up here. The picture frame isn't really matching up. And it's not quite matching up with, you know, the original position he was in. Okay, so things are getting a little wonky in here. I'm going to go back to my move tool and I'm just going to grab his face and just kind of try to line it up a little bit with where it might have been originally. And you're just going to have to kind of, you know, mess around here until you can find a way to kind of match it up better. But like these are his original ears, and like you might be blending parts of the photo underneath with parts of the photo that you put on top to make sure that, you know, everything makes sense, especially when you start running into things in the background, like these picture frames. You know, we want to make sure that if we go to print it out, that there isn't like a random corner of something that is out of place. So if you press the X key, you can go back and forth between white and black and just kind of play around, and you can adjust the softness of your brush up here with hardness in case you need a little bit of blending, which we might need to do over here. Just get in there nice and close. Everything is looking pretty good except this ear situation. So okay. Make sure nothing down here looks too out of whack. Sometimes I just like to make sure, like you can see that we're getting these little chunks here. Make sure. All right. Bring that out a little bit, and now you can see, and that is the backslash key, and that shows you also like where you painted. So we'll turn this eyeball on and off. And it was, you know, a little bit difficult because his face is at like a different angle. Only thing that I think is really standing out to me is just that the hair is looking a little funky. So I'm just bring the opacity of the brush down and just blend that hair a little bit. Maybe we just get all the way out. And the only thing that I'm noticing now is just that his hairline seems a little bit low, and that maybe his face just needs to be slightly bigger. So we are just going to Command T. Slightly larger. Try to line his hairline up just a little bit better. Maybe soften up down here a little bit. All right. I think that I would definitely call that pretty good. So that is how I like to do my face swaps. And once again, it's just a really good skill to know how to do, and it's not going to be perfect, but you can get it to look pretty dang good.
I hope you guys enjoyed that little face swap demo. I know Photoshop can be a little bit intimidating, but learning how to do a face swap is a great thing to know, especially when you are panicking because you didn't get that photo that you thought you had. A face swap will just solve all of those problems for you. If you haven't yet, I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that little bell notification below so that you don't miss a thing. If you just cannot wait a week to see my beautiful face, I am super active over on Instagram at RubyJeanPhotography, and I'm always giving away all kinds of little helpful hints and tricks for photographers over there. And if you want to chit chat with me in the DMs, just slide right on in. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching.